Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Destiny 2, the full game, on the Geforce GTX 750 Ti. For FPS monitoring, this time I won't be using cams, since this game doesn't allow any overlays, and if you enjoy the content and want to support the channel directly, there are Humble and Amazon affiliate links down in the description. So Destiny 2 full game, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p and 720p. To skip none of those sections of the video, check the description below. So first I'll show you 1080p, trying to get over 30 frames per second, which will be pretty much high settings with textures on medium. I'll keep textures on medium across the whole video due to the VRAM. We only have 2GB on the 750 Ti I have here, so if you want the game to be as stable as possible, I recommend using medium textures. And also note that I have the 750 Ti overclocked on the 1080p footage. On 900p and 720p, I just disabled the overclock. And well, later on 1080p I just lower everything to low, so the low preset there. And I'm unable to maintain 60 frames per second. Same happens on 900p. The best way to be close to 60 frames per second is 720p. There you can be very close by not using the lowest settings, so the game has a little better visuals at the very least. But overall it's very difficult to maintain 60 frames per second on this GPU. If you want to do so, just do 720p medium or 720p low to maintain it as much as possible, but you get a hit to the visuals of the game. So yeah, you have options here. If you prefer higher frame rates, lower the settings and resolution, and if you prefer high resolutions and better visuals but don't care about the frame rate, the option is there as well. In all my Destiny 2 videos on the final game, I used the latest Nvidia drivers, which are the game ready drivers version 388, so keep that in mind. And well, for the testing methodology, I just decided to run into one of the main areas, which is a big area compared with most of the places on the beta, so we get more CPU usage. Unfortunately, I cannot show you CPU, GPU and RAM usage since this game is blocking overlays, so I cannot use MSI Afterburner, CAMS overlay doesn't work either. This game is just blocking code injection, so you cannot really see that in an overlay in this game. So when I was testing the game, I just Alt-tab out of the game, look at the CPU and GPU usage, and so far for what I could see on the G4560 on these open areas that I tested, there was some drops in the GPU usage on all the cards, excepting on the 750 Ti for example. So if we're targeting 60 frames per second, the G4560 seems to be close to our target. It sometimes drops to 50 frames per second due to the CPU. It's usually when you look far into the distance, not really a long period of time. So I think that it's still good enough to use the G4560 on this game. Then on the Ryzen 3 1200 with the 3.9 GHz overclock, it happened less often, so we had a better average frame rate. So yeah, if you have a modern i5 and i7, something like that, maybe a Ryzen 5 1600 overclocked, it should be enough to be over 60 frames per second without a problem. Then in the options menu, I used, well, what you see on screen, 105 degrees FOV. On the anti-aliasing option, we don't have MSAA anymore. Bungie said that it wasn't working well with the game, with the way they render the game, so they decided to remove MSAA. So we have FXAA and SMAA. Then the rest of the options is pretty much the same as the beta. So I'll just tell you the ones that I lowered in order to get the best performance. Screen space and min occlusion give me a decent boost in performance. Anti-aliasing from SMAA to FXAA is like 3 or 5 frames. Then depth of field, I recommend lowering this. It's a hit to the frame rate as well, quite noticeable. Shadows obviously are also a hit to performance, so I recommend keeping that on medium or high. It's usually the best balance performance quality. And then we have the draw distance. We have environment, character, foliage detail and foliage shadows distances. So those 4 options control different draw distances. The main one that helped me to get the best performance by lowering it was environment detail and foliage shadows distance. The other ones also gave me a boost by lowering them, but it wasn't as big of a boost compared to environment and foliage shadows. But yeah, overall it runs pretty good even on budget hardware. So yeah, thank you so much for watching guys, and see you next time.
Hang on a minute. I just spotted quite a few fallen headed your way. Keep your guard up.
They won't stop coming. We need to make sure that signal is strong. You better hurry up and place that second node.
I cannot afford to be distracted. I do hope you understand. Fallen are bringing in a glimmer drill.
again.
Tricky business, mining glimmer without a drill. Good work.